Uh, so before you guys had departed the pocket plane, Zaitari had invited the Exalted to back to the keep for a party for a party to celebrate their victory, amongst other things. Ishala thanked you, but said at the time they had to like kind of s- lick their wounds. But send them a message when you guys were ready to commence the festivities. And if you guys are ever in Ironfast, you should visit them at their own keep. Um, you guys snapped back home to Rosewater Keep. Zaitari had sent a few sendings. First one's to Ricochet, asking about the progress of Aoife's investigation of her parents. He told her that he was having trouble finding information on him. Did not elaborate at the time because of the word limit. Zaitari also sent a sending to Theo, alerting him that his wife had returned. Shaddoc has rushed out of the keep to greet her parents, and Hemlock went to go pack up her room, sensing that she would be heading back to the monastery soon after the wish had been granted. After packing up her things, Aoife went back out, proceeded to introduce Bearfriend to Shaddoc, who was totally ecstatic. And then her parents revealed that they were going to get married. Um, Zaitari and Tilda at that point had went to the baths to relax. There was a team meeting. Um, During the team meeting, there was another sending sent out to Alexandria, updating her about the Old One issue and a little bit of what was encountered during the tournament. Tilda had spoken to you about the dreams of the gods she had been communicating with, and suspected the civilization that Arathos was speaking about was in Kalta, where the Guardians were from. Um, yeah, there was also like this like really quick agreement that Ishala should not become Queen of Dorenithel. Yeah. Theo came over with Trixie. Chambers delivered a message to Rain, which was from Iskin. He came over and wanted to ask Rain to be her best woman for the wedding, which would include one of the responsibilities of being part of his hunting party, because apparently the family and the soon to be partner, or a group of the partners choosing, would compete head to head to bring the best animal back to the betrothed. Um, so also that's what Theo had asked Tilda about. Iskin had asked him to be part of the hunting party as well. Um, in the evening, Ifo had Ifo. E- Aoife had a dream.
Evil.
Ifo.
Evil Knievel.
Evil.
Eva had a dream that Gokor had visited her and quickly told her as much as he could about what had happened to him before his awful corruption. And he had gone to northern lengths to meditate and listen to the spirits there, listen to the spirits that resided there, influenced him, lured him under the ruins. And at this point, he had been grabbed by an entity, a tentacled entity in the dream. Once after Gokor was taken, Aoife was in danger of being grappled and taken as well. Thankfully, her and Bearfriend were able to fend off the tentacles, and Aoife woke up, went downstairs, found a map, drew and wrote down everything she saw, sent Bearfriend up to Tilda. Tilda came down and was able to take a look at what Aoife had saw. Still a little bit shaken up by everything. Aoife, Tilda, and Bearfriend went down to the kitchen, had some tea, and had a pretty long talk about pretty much like Aoife's loneliness and lack of family. Sometime later, Tilda went to bed, and Aoife and Bearfriend stayed up, and in the morning, let the rest of the party know what transpired that last evening. Are there any questions? Okay.
I don't think so.
All right. So you guys are at breakfast when when Chambers tells you that Alexandria is has arrived, and she doesn't. It takes her a few minutes to come to the dining room, where she like immediately just grabs some food off the table, sits in one of the empty chairs. She already has like a pretty thick tome in front of her, and like a little something akin to like a little notebook, which is like when she opens it up, it's like looks like three-fourths of the pages are filled, and it just looks like there's just notes on like stuff. And she says, "Good morning, everyone. I got here as soon as possible." She looks around. Hold on. She looks around. Her gaze kind of lingers a little bit on Aoife and Tilda, and also kind of like just blinks at the bear. Like, okay, it's just another. It's just kind of like, oh, okay, nobody's alarmed or anything. Guess the bear's normal.
I multi-classed into ranger.
That makes sense.
Yes, the bear's just here now.
I wasn't going to ask. I assumed that was normal. So let's go into detail. What exactly is going on? I know you had went somewhere for a tournament to fight for a wish of some sort. What happened during that time?
While we were there doing the wish fight, we got a lot of information about old gods.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have a chance to connect with Silas?
Lyris.
Fuck.
You were really close. Really close.
I just switched the letters. Have you gotten a chance to speak with Lyris?
Yes. Yes. There was a individual named Morley that had contacted me, and I am making arrangements to start communicating with him soon. On remembering about the Liberian gemstone you gave me a while back, was trying to get information about the region of Lanx. You had mentioned region of Lanx or the Broken Isles. Unfortunately, she doesn't have too much about that region. It looks like she was created during the time of the Minotaurs, and it doesn't appear she knows of the other old ones, but she doesn't have specifics about them. And Yablink, the old one that had arisen during her time, was the only one active. So the others must have been asleep during that time.
If Zaitari was Tilda, she would be encouraging Aoife to tell about the dream, but she's not.
Or Tilda could talk about the dream because she saw it too.
That's true.
It's
Also, I'm fairly certain that Tilda would be very forthcoming with that information. It's not like she's purposely holding it to herself. So
yeah.
also Aoife was there, so Aoife can.
Yeah, it'd definitely be something Aoife would bring up.
Okay.
Relate the dream to what we saw in the tournament with Gokor.
Okay, you see she's like jotting down everything you're saying. Actually, she wouldn't. She probably would have her enchanted quill with her, and it's like dictating everything you're saying.
Yeah, that's the way.
As
you have magic, that's the way to do
yeah,
it.
as she's like eating a scone, listening to you guys carefully as the pen just like takes notes on what you guys are saying. She does take note of the negative emotion you felt during the dream that came from the entity. She will reiterate, like Tilda had, that was a very common trait among old ones during her research. The transformation with Gokor seems particularly disturbing, especially when you tell Alexandria about the ages of when Gokor had left, and then when you saw him most recently, that jump in age. She doesn't recall ever hearing about something like that, but then again, all the old ones had different domains of sort. They had like their own kind of domains of like what each of represented. So
Aoife would ask if there's records of other old ones using just a random mortal as an avatar like Gokor had been used.
Well, we did come across Phoenix. She was being used as one of them when you guys fought her a while back. I believe so, or she was at least being represented as one of them when she had like warlock-like capabilities, if you guys remember her.
Speaking of Phoenix, we actually fought her for a second time in the tournament with Gokor.
At that point, she like coughs on her skull. What?
She also turned into an abomination, but different.
Yes, it was
A little more
quite
gooey.
disgusting.
Oh God. Okay. On that note, after she, kind of like puts, uses her fist to like, just slam her chest a few times. Well, if that's the case, and she showed up with this Gokor fellow, and then I have a couple hypotheses. One of which would be probably the most logical one, is that if they arrive together, then we're dealing with the same old one that was associated with Phoenix. I think you guys did you ever get a name of that one? Let me take a look.
Name of what?
The old one that Phoenix was working for, and you.
I think we did.
You did. I just wanted to make sure you did have the name before I said anything. It was Natosa. Natosa is the old one of Undeath.
Considering Gokor's specialties, that doesn't really make too much of a surprise, honestly.
No, it doesn't. Especially what you've told me he could do.
It's just interesting because that's not what Gokor was trained in originally. This old one gave him a whole new skill set.
Well, he did come back very old. It's a possibility that maybe he was training his body for a very long time. In some kind of other dimension, maybe.
Yeah,
hyperbolic time chamber, one might.
And it's not like you can't switch fighting styles. I did. Just notable.
It's also possible that the thing that was inside him was driving him, in the in the driver's seat of the carriage, and he was more along for the ride. He may not have actually been adding much of his own skills to it. It might have been the thing inside him.
That's what
Also
I'm thinking.
So, that's the most likely hypothesis I have currently, that we're still dealing with Natosa. Because Phoenix was more of a thieving type when you initially had met her. Well, when you guys didn't meet her, when Locke had initially met her and traveled with her, she had more magical capabilities by the end. By the time she met you, so this isn't very surprising about the new abilities, new fighting style, etc., etc. And you said now that Gokor told you he went to Northern Lanks.
Yeah, the northern tip.
That would make a lot of sense. I was sending people out to the southern area, with mid to southern area, because that's the most active area of the island. Since that it is south, since to the south is the Broken Isles, which is a very common pirate smuggling area. I was figuring, getting individuals, supplies, people there, if Natosa is active, awake. But I hadn't heard much happening in Northern Lanks. Just a few fishing villages, like even fewer than are present in the south. There was like a cursory team that went around to see if they saw anything, but it was pretty much dead. But what? Okay.
Can I get your honest opinion on the thing?
Sure. What's up?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how fucked am I that an old one showed up in my dream and caused me actual real-world physical harm? And what's the likelihood of it doing it again?
It's probably very unlikely. I'm going to assume that it already had tagged Gokor, and that's why it was able to go into your dream so easily. I highly doubt that you would experience that again. But if you are worried of such things of happening, I can probably come up with some magical means of not warding away things of that nature, but making you invisible to things of that nature. You know what I'm saying?
I'm mostly just concerned about keeping an active list of otherworldly entities that want to kill me in my sleep. So I'm aware of the threats, because the old ones make 2. So just being prepared.
Mm-hmm. But if you ever want something like that, then just let me know, and I can. It will take some time, but I can cook up something.
I still have my amulet of non-detection, if you want it. I'm assuming that is what we are talking about. Yes.
Something like that, but I would make it on a grander scale.
I see.
So we got a bigger fish that is hunting.
Yeah, I can't really afford to unattune from what I've got going on. I punch things, so I really need magical items to not just be a random person punching things.
It would act more as a ward, so in the area you would be resting in. So you wouldn't have to.
Something I could plant.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Okay, now
because attuning's a whole other kettle of fish.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But in case you had a slot left, Zaitari did want to offer it up.
No, I've got my insignia claws, my stone, and my bracers.
Yeah.
Kind of need all those, so.
Yeah. So I can send a few. I can tell some boats to keep on the lookout near that area to see if anything weird is happening. But ultimately, it would probably be you guys to do more of a thorough search of the area, since he
Yeah,
actually...
according to Gokor, it was happening underground, so a boat wouldn't be able to see it anyway.
Okay, but you said there were ruins.
Yeah, he was called to ruins, and then he went beneath the ruins, and that's where everything happened.
Then I'll get somebody to get like an aerial view of what ruins are in the area. If there's more than one. Lanx is a pretty old place. People come and go there. It's always been viewed as like a lot of temporary establishments. So if there's more than one ruin, that wouldn't surprise me. But we'll see.
Apparently, if you get close enough to it, it'll start calling to you. So,
All right, I'll keep that in mind. I'll keep that in mind when I send people out. Make them do routine checks back in case something starts whispering things.
do you know anything about getting souls back from old ones?
I've actually been asking our little librarian friend, not that one, points upstairs, not that one, the hologram one. It's...
Oh, hey, Rain, don't you have that guy in the gem?
I think actually, I think Nenron was given had them last because they were bored. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but
Actually,
we do have an ancient, an old person.
Really, really,
But yeah.
really old. Like before the time of the current gods old.
Like, yes. Like,
Speaking of that, since
fuck
you're
around
here,
with current
he's kind of
gods. Children old.
yeah. Yeah, he's kind of stuck inside of a gemstone. We found him like in a skull on a hermit crab's back, and he's looking to get out. So it might be worthwhile for you to look at him anyways to see if you can get him out. But also, he might know something. I don't know.
I
just didn't want to. I wanted to posit the question.
No, it's fine. I could talk to him.
Him.
I'm gonna like do that. You know that clap clap. And like I'm imagining it's the summon Chambers into where we're talking room. Hey Chambers, can you go upstairs to the library or I don't even know if it would be upstairs. It'd be really fucking heavy if it was upstairs. I don't know if the floor could support it. Could you go to the library, and ask Nenreen to give you Kismet to bring here?
Of course, right away. You see Chambers trot off, and Alexandra's like, I'm actually not surprised anymore about any of this. Okay, Gem, we have a bear, old ones. Yeah, sure, but just keep it coming.
Yeah, the bear's there to save us from Shar. So
that's a whole nother thing.
Is that the other entity you were talking about?
Yeah, that's number 2.
No, wouldn't Shaw be number 1 since she was the first one to try to, claim your life in your dreams?
That's true, yeah.
We do just make the most wonderful enemies, don't we?
Yep. Okay. Chambers comes down with the gem. Alexandria looks at it. There's like a brief conversation, like, hi, how are you? So you were Kismet, and yeah, it's like, wait, you pissed off who? Are you a dumbass?
Yeah.
Yes, he has been self-described as a dumbass, so.
I mean, I know people who get around, but jeez, dude. All right. Well, nice to meet you, I guess. All right. Interesting. Okay. I might want to stay here and talk to him for a bit, I guess. Try to figure out something. I know you guys just got back from your tournament, and you guys probably want to rest for a little bit before doing other things. You definitely deserve that. Um,
Well, I mean, so long as whatever's happening with the old ones doesn't. No, Zaitari wouldn't know this. Never mind. She wasn't asked to go on this hunt.
but I'll let you know if the aerial recon team finds anything, and I'll map out what ruins are in northern Lanks for you to start checking out. In the meantime, I can do a little more research on a surefire way to try to free a soul from an old one.
Wonderful.
Yeah. I mean, Locke had been asking me about that, had asked me in the past about that too, but I kind of came to like a dead end for a while. But maybe with your friend's help here, like kind of gestures to Gem, maybe there's something else I can try to find.
And it might help him as well, since it was an old god that jailed him, the gem.
Well, he didn't. The old ones, and he fucked with a god of mutilation,
Murder and mutilation.
murder and mutilation. I don't know why would you. I'll be in the library for a while. Hopefully Nunrain won't mind, and I'll be communicating with a few other people to give him some jobs and to delegate. If there's anything you need in the meantime, I'll be there for like couple hours, like probably the day before I have to leave. I'll let you know if I find anything or anybody finds stuff. In the meantime, just try to relax.
We'll certainly try.
Mm-hmm.
You could certainly try.
Yep.
All right. She takes an empty basket, fills it with a bunch of pastries and some fruit, and takes a one of the pitchers of coffee and brings it to her to the library. Is there anything you guys want to do in the meantime while she's just like hanging out, doing some research, delegating shit?
Actually, did I not mention the hunt, or was Zaitari just not there at the time?
So I don't remember if you mentioned
you had
it
that
to.
talk with Iskin privately.
Yeah.
Okay.
You haven't told Melanie about it yet.
Okay, so then I. Well, you have to now. Sorry. Well, while we're since we're all, I assume, still gathered here, Rain will bring that up. So it seems there's a lot of wedding news going on lately, and Iskin asked me to be his best woman. And I was really excited, and still am. But then I remembered this is a Goliath wedding, and as I was very shortly proven true, it apparently there's a tradition where the parties to be married have a competition from their families to see who can bring back the most impressive prey animal.
Ooh. Tell me more.
It's I pull out the picture that I was given, and share it around.
Be careful,
Uh,
Wayne. You might have a new tradition on your hands with Melanie.
Uh,
Melanie's eyes are like so wide, and she's like, "Oh, so when are we going? This is exciting."
I would be honored to have any and all of you attend, but it is certainly not required.
Darling, I'm
When
obviously
is it
going.
happening?
Jay, when it's about to happen? I think we said a month. Is that it?
So the
Or 2
bachelor,
weeks.
yeah, the stag party is in a month, and that's when you would present. So like you
3
can,
weeks ish.
yeah, about 2 weeks they were all gonna go to the sacred hunting grounds.
Yeah. So also yeah, in 2 weeks we will travel with and meet in the sacred hunting grounds that have been outlined for this hunt, and we will track and attempt to bring in this beast. The
Oh,
if something I wrote down the name, but
No.
I don't know where I wrote it down.
I'll be happy to join as long as I'm able to wrap everything up at the monastery before then. If I am, then yeah, for sure.
Of course. And I kind of look at Melanie like, and it'll be interesting to find out what we'll be presented with. It seems. Because that wouldn't
Can I
be
just-
as fun. You
I
wouldn't
mean,
get
I'm just
to
gonna let Shaddoc find a random pet for you. It'll be fine.
hunt. But yeah, stag party in a month. Hunt beforehand. I really don't know more we can ask for.
It's wonderful.
Tilda mentions something. Oh yes, my husband was invited to that too.
Yeah. Looks like Theo's going too.
Yeah.
Part of the wedding party, etc.
So on and so forth. Insert here. But I think that covers my business. Is there anything else between now and then for anyone else other than researching more about the old gods? And I'm going to point to the picture of the creature we are fighting. Will be fighting.
I don't think so.
No, not that I could think of. But if we have a month before, well, no, I lied. There's definitely something happening because the wish must be made. Eventually, Tegan and I will go on a honeymoon, and you'll be able to reach me via sending. But until such a time that comes, I will let you know when that happens.
Yeah, outside of the monastery, I might have a different personal trip to go on. I don't know yet.
Well, if you need us to go with you, or I mean, I'm always willing to go. So I don't have anything to do.
It's I'm trying to find my parents. So I think that's something I'd like to do alone.
Oh, okay.
Fair.
If you need help in locating your parents, I'm sure Tilda could try to do a legend lore. Might have some kind of.
Ricochet knows where to find the information. So yeah, I don't even have like a name to go off of for them, so I don't know if legend lore would work.
I bet more so on you. You're I think famous and powerful enough that it would work on you and maybe give some background.
Does it work like that?
Weird.
Oh.
It's Ricochet's looking in the main temple's records where everything's kept, but apparently he's running into trouble. So, and I can't remember. I think last time I asked Zaitari to relay to Ricochet to meet her at the monastery once it's all rebuilt.
Mhm.
So,
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I also said that if like it was more urgent, we're going to be at the keep for a while, so if need be, can come here.
So, legend lore does say the lore might consist of current tales, forgotten stories, or even secret lore that has never been widely known. So, in theory, were Aoife of legendary importance, which this spell does require you to be, it is possible that you could get random mysterious clues from this spell.
Listen, considering how high level we are and the crazy shit that we have killed,
True.
I think, all of us are considered legendary status.
That is something you guys could try if you wish.
I think it'd be really funny to try it.
Okay, let's try.
Tilda just gets like the fastest flash in a pan 16-year summary.
Okay. All right. Yeah, let's.
Aoife hasn't done much. You've been with her for all of her big accomplishments.
All right.
It's that secret information that we're looking for, though.
Get my notepad out. And by notepad, I mean the back of my therapy homework I didn't do.
I didn't do mines either.
It turns out it's really daunting when your therapist wants you to keep a log of intrusive thoughts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, I can't
God.
even imagine. Last week would have been pretty fucking bad.
This is
I
why
was supposed to
haven't done
keep
it.
I was supposed to keep a log of like what was it? Things that anyway, I was just like, do you have an entire encyclopedia you want me to fill up? What the fuck? Like, okay. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Continue.
Okay.
Aoife has been alive for such a short amount of time, it's literally going to be like, trained at this monastery for 16 years, left, joined the Heroes of Leona, did these 3 things.
Well, we might get, stuff when you had no living memory. So, or before. And I mean, we got the money for it, so.
Yeah, you guys definitely
Yeah.
have the money for it. All right.
It's not like we're want for a lack of funding over here. I mean, between Rain and I, we almost gave like 10K to the church that we accidentally, but not accidentally, blew up. So,
If we have the money,
Unintentionally.
yeah, there we go.
have the money and the time, I would like to get my insignia of claws souped up, but I doubt we're going to have the time.
Oh, well, you can ask Alexandria about it.
They're +1 right now. I think they should be a +3. So
Yeah.
and there's not a lot of great like legendary or very rare items for monks. So
No, not
go
really.
figure.
It's kind of, the DM kind of gotta
You gotta supplement
fill
the
in the
monks.
blanks.
One second. I gotta look up one thing. Do. Okay. All right. Oh. She looks like French fry when she lays like that.
Mm.
Okay. So you do legend lore, and this is what you get. Aoife, she of many fast fists many fists of lightning, born of the village Milan, cared by Sharpfang before brought to the Daojun monastery, where if you need me to slow down, I will slow down. Um,
Can you restart actually?
yeah,
Sorry.
well, I will type this. This is easier.
Okay. All right.
All I know is I'm from Milan, the most fashionable city in the world.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, considering Aoife's proclivities for being fashionable, you know.
it does actually kind of work.
It's in her blood. It never even occurred to me to do legend lore on Aoife. Because I've always been like, oh, she's a 16-year-old. She's not legendary.
To be fair, it wouldn't work on most 16-year-olds, but you're not most 16-year-olds, so.
Yeah.
This is true. She's got more levels than she does years.
Yeah. Now she does. We're level, what? We're 17, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Um. Hold on. There's one more thing I have to. Like, what was that name?
Meme or name?
Name, not
Name.
name.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm like, what's
there's
the meme have
Aoife,
to do?
Aoife has
It's ya boy. It's the frog on the unicycle.
That's Aoife's parent. There's nobody else. It's just that boy.
Immaculate conception from a meme.
there's too much at the end.
All the cool shit you've done. I like that you're just like, look, you guys were here for this. You know what's happening.
Yeah.
you know
Oh.
what you've done.
That is a big assumption.
But yeah, she of many lightning fists, born of the village Milan, cared briefly by Sharpfang before brought to the Daojian monastery by the druid Frey. This place where she trained, excelled, left, joined the Heroes of Leona, and insert all cool shit you have done.
Just probably just kind of look at Aoife and see if any of this appears to be new information.
Yeah, it's all new. Where the hell even is Milan?
That's an excellent question.
Milan is a village. If you look on the map of Robur, it would be on the opposite side of Kizan. So where Kizan is on the east coast, Milan would be on the west coast. Probably at that like little like tip before like it dips down into that depression.
Where again? It's on the East Coast?
Yeah, west coast. It's opposite of
West Coast.
Kizan. Yeah, it would be the exact direct, like almost direct opposite.
Oh, it's like around the edge of Dorenithil?
Yeah, pretty much.
Huh.
Would you like to go, Aoife? I haven't used any spells today. I could certainly teleport you or us. Well, maybe the both of us. You can do whatever you want, and I'll just hang out. And you just need a way back, essentially. I don't want to strand you in somewhere that you've never been,
Well, like,
especially if the teleportation spell goes awry.
if the rest of you guys want to come with, since these aren't my parents, they were my temporary babysitters. If everyone wants to come,
Oh, I don't see why not. I mean, I'm
Parents
speaking
could
for
be there.
myself, so your parents could be there, yes. If you wish, I could send a message to Ricochet.
yeah, see if he knows Sharp Finger Freight.
Sure. I will send a sending to Ricochet.
Could all of us rack our brains? Sharp Fang, is there a guess on the culture or race?
Yeah, you
Sharp Fang could be.
yeah, you could definitely roll like probably like a history check. That would be the closest to like a knowledge world typically.
Come on, the smart people do it.
Hey,
we all-
I mean, Tilda's here. She could do it.
I can
Yeah.
roll it. Hold on.
Tilda is present.
Yeah, Tilda is. I mean, you had to use legend lore.
Yeah.
It's history.
Real good.
Yeah, this would be history.
Oh
Dang
fuck yeah! Oh wait, I don't have advantage. It's not that high. It's just a 17.
What am I thinking of here? Word
It's still
count.
17, but it's not 26.
Okay, this fits. So I'll
Yeah,
send sending
I
to
think Ella's
Ricochet.
got it.
Doing some looking into Aoife's heritage. Do you know the village Milan, someone by Sharpfang, or the druid Bray?
I'll be right back.
And you can take your time in replying to that,
Okay.
because obviously there's a lot of things going on now, because we had an idea. We're like, yeah, sure, let's do it.
I remember a fray. Elven woman who brought Aoife in as an infant. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. She said she found her in the forest. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Don't know other things. That's 24.
Okay. I will relay that message back to everybody.
It's honestly not that far off from what I've been thinking was the truth, which is I was like found in a basket on the road or something.
But what do I say? Right. For the history checks, it's possible. I mean, the individuals you found from more like tribe-like societies have common names like that. Could be an orcish name. Could be a given title. After an individual does something in their life, but typically sometimes it's common for individuals that live in like away from urban very high urban settlements. as a particular race, that's pretty. You're unsure of that. The village, you do not recall any like significance of that name of the village, or like it's not a famous village or town for that matter. So like you don't really know too much.
Suppose technically for teleporting there, I'm the object from the area.
I don't think that counts.
Mm.
Also, I think it's probably been too long since you've been there. No offense or
Probably.
anything.
This is all news to me, so I don't. How does it go?
You know what? Let's go to the library. Alexandria knows a lot of things about Robert. She might be able to give me some more information so that I could at least be a little bit more familiar with the area before I go whisking us off and end up having a mishap. So.
Okay. Um. So you just want to know about that area?
Actually, I suppose we'd be in the description category.
Mhm.
I've never seen it casually, and I am, well, actually, DM.
Mhm.
I did travel a lot in my time with the caravan.
Mhm.
Can I roll a D100 to see if I've been there before?
Sure.
Okay. Do you have a number in your head?
I have a number in my head. Yes.
Okay. I just want to. I usually like to ask because half the time when I have people roll a D100 and they do it, I'll actually like, can you do that again? I didn't know the number in my head.
I have a number.
Oh, that might be no.
God fucking damn it.
Oh, was that?
No, you've
Oh.
been in the area. Like
Okay.
very close to that area. I'll say you haven't been to that
Roll
village.
seen casually?
Yeah, seeing casually.
Okay. All right. I'll take it.
Okay.
That's at least a little bit better. Well, you two looking at Rain and Melanie. Holy shit. That was that took me
It was a
way too
long
long.
walk.
I'm sorry. Do you want to tell Shaddoc that we're going to be gone for a little bit? I know we just got home, unless you guys want to stay here. It's up to you. Or you want to have her come with, but I mean that's up to you guys as well.
We really wouldn't know what we're walking into.
Yeah,
This
I
is
don't.
true, but we're just going. I mean, I'm at least generally familiar with the area. My lips are flapping, but the DM's words are coming out of my mouth.
The trouble is this. Like, this is the trouble. Melanie as a character would probably stay with Shaddoc because she misses her, but Mel as a player wants to go ahead and keep the group together, and I don't want to slow down the game by having us split. So just, I don't know. Let's just go. I'm fine with going.
If there's any chance at all of a mishap, I don't think Shaddoc should be along.
Oh, I'm not
Oh,
taking
no,
Shaddoc
no,
with
no.
us. No, I'm saying we'll go. I'm not saying Shaddoc's gonna go.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
not dragging her through to wherever the fuck we're going.
I'm pretty. So here's the thing. Since you had that talk the other night, I'm pretty sure Tilda would want to go with you guys.
Oh yeah, no,
I
that's fine.
agree.
Yeah.
I think that Tilda would probably want to go.
Yeah.
No, I mean I was kind of assuming that Tilda was coming.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm just gonna say Theo babysit her and hope for her to come back soon. Okay, sounds good. All right. So you want to teleport there now?
I just think in the unlikely event things go really tits up, we should be ready to jump back very quickly. I don't fancy sticking around if we walk into some bad shit, which I don't expect, but if we do, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you are casually familiar with that region.
Yeah, it's I have the table up right now.
Okay,
so,
great.
Would anybody else like to do the honors, or is it gonna fall to me?
What do you mean, do the honors?
Throw the
Roll
D.
the D100.
I'll roll it.
Okay.
I don't know even what.
We're
is
going
good
to
at
the
this-
astral plane!
Yep,
Okay,
that's
good.
right.
Okay,
Okay,
great.
we're
You're
on
on target. All right. So you guys teleport to a region that seems kind of Mediterranean in climate. The air is a slightly drier. You are currently on the coast of what you believe is Western Robur. There are many gray. You are standing on what looks like to be a gray cliffside with scraggly shrubbery planted, latched into the walls. The air smells of salt and kind of a herby type of quality from some of the scraggly shrubs nearby. It is currently evening here because you
Yeah, that
teleported
makes
on the other
sense.
side. There are squeaks and squawks of various birds and other wildlife in the area. The weather is. Hold on. The weather is. There is a light wind that is going through the area, going from west to east, and there is no precipitation. And so it's very very clear. There is a half moon in the sky currently. But you do not see any villages nearby. Not as far as your dark vision, whoever's dark vision can see.
That's odd. I've definitely seen a village here before, right?
Yes.
Is there like ruins, or it's just empty?
Currently where you're standing it is kind of empty. Could everybody roll a perception check for me, please, just to scan the area?
Yes. Sure. Can I help?
Yes,
Rain?
you can help. Right.
Okay.
Go ahead,
All
help Rain. Roll a 36.
30. I
Good.
like you were saying 30 as the 30 came out. And then-
Good enough. Everyone, even though you are not in the immediate area, you do see some structures. You had to take a couple. Your eyesight was blocked by a few like taller. I wouldn't exactly call them trees. Trees would be generous. Tall, scraggly bushes. But there are some structures in the distance, small ones, not large ones. Looks like a couple of like crude-ish stone houses. Probably a couple of kilometers from your position. For
That's
those...
a weird way to say the word house. Houses just sounds really suspicious.
I'm
DM.
trying to find a synonym for houses instead of saying houses all the time.
Guys, it's house moves.
Domiciles.
Sure, domiciles. Thank you.
Does there seem to be anything like lights, hearths?
Probably a couple maybe fires. Pretty dimly, not large fires. Though that's probably why you didn't see it initially.
Mhm. Point out the pinpricks of light, and looks like we should head that way. Do you think I should scout it out before we get too close?
I think that
Oh,
sounds
within
like a
the
good idea.
I was going to say I think we're fine, but if we want to be extra cautious, then sure, go ahead.
Be safe,
I
dear.
mean, I don't think we're in too much danger here, but if it will put you at ease, sure.
It gotta be useful for something.
Oh
I'll,
yeah, because you don't do enough damage in battle.
Yeah, I guess we'll probably all walk a little bit closer, but then I'll go invisible and sneak up to the edge or until I encounter people.
Okay. You get roll a stealth check for me, please. It's probably going to be like 30, 20. All right, 20. Okay, sure.
Minimum roll.
I was like 30. No, you threw 3. 5.
Clomp, chomp.
You get a little bit further, staying ahead of the group, going through the brush, being mindful of any sticks, rocks, as you're walking through the brush. You get to the edge of the village. It's a very, very small village. There are currently very few people outside. Calculating the time in your head, what time of night it is pretty late. So it would make sense that there are not too many people out. But the individuals you do see are primarily human. You do see a half elf here and there. Give me another. Actually, give me an investigation check.
All right. Oh, that should not be. Oh, I took it off advantage. Yay me.
Okay.
26.
You take a look at some of the structures closest to you, and you notice that they're newer. They haven't been around that long.
But some of them are older too.
Some of
But
them are older. The older ones you do notice have parts of them that are newer. Like they're in one of the buildings, like across the way. It looks like the top was sheared off.
Something might have happened, and some had to be fully repaired. And
Exactly.
Okay. So I'll just kind of note where if there's like a guard or people watching out, I'll try to look for an area we can come up and not sneak up on them when we because it looks pretty safe. I'll go back and report what I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
And just make sure we don't sneak up on them and scare anyone. Minimize that when we do approach.
Okay.
Looks pretty normal, pretty safe. Mostly humans, few half elves and the like. Something recently some tragedy might have befallen, because it looks like some of their housing has been repaired recently. New ones built and repairs. So we should probably tread carefully.
There was also that earth elemental that we fought.
True.
It might have come through here. And wasn't there like that big sandstorm thing that was related to something else that we did around here?
There were some sandstorm elementals, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought
So
that was
it-
more southern, though. Though those things can, roam. But that was more southern.
Yeah. I mean, it's a harsh landscape. I'm hoping that it's not anything, absolutely insane. But honest to God, who knows with us?
Okay. There does look like when you were looking about the place, Rain. Does look like there was kind of like, a place where people coming in, would come in from. They don't exactly have like the front gate is here type of
Yeah.
situation, but it's built in a way like road leading into a square sort of. It
Like,
has
like a main street.
like a main
situation.
street, exactly.
I guess we go in through Main Street and try and find some charitable citizen to give us some information.
Probably the best thing to do from here.
When you go up the, and I'm putting in quotes, main street area, there are,
Promenade.
yeah, there is a young man walking by in pretty simple hide armor, carrying a wooden heavy shield, but kind of like the metal of the shield is not exactly too well made. And the sword has been kept well taken care of, but you could tell it's a little bit on the older side. As he's walking by, he does have a almost like a husky-ish dog next to him that's trotting a few feet behind. And you clearly are not, you're making your presence known, so he stops for a moment, kind of gives the command for the dog to wait, and he approaches you and he says, hello there, strangers. Are you lost? Are you do you need shelter?
We just adventurers and came upon your lovely town.
We're looking for Milan.
You have found it. Not many people come actually looking for Milan.
Is Frey around?
Frey. He.
A bit of a druid type.
Oh. Yeah. Frey. She doesn't live here. He points to the north. She has she lives out in the woods by herself. She doesn't really come out here unless it's to trade for general supplies, but she can be he gives you a once over. Why are you looking for her?
We're also looking for Sharp Fang, if you know Sharp Fang.
I am afraid I don't know a Sharp Fang.
I'm just looking for some answers from Frey. I'm not here to hurt her.
Okay. Sorry. I apologize. She's had some trouble in the past with strangers, and the fact that she's
Elven?
yes.
We have
turn away.
Oh, sorry.
We've had to turn away individuals, or yeah.
We honestly mean no trouble to her in really any sense of the word, except for probably asking a few questions. Do you know if she would be awake right now?
Well, she doesn't really sleep.
Oh, that's true. Elves, yes. Haha. How easily I forget.
She's open to visitors. Don't be put off if she does seem kind of hesitant, because I mean, you're the first to actually ask of her for a while. Um, but yeah, I can
Would
I
you
c-
be able to lead us there?
probably
You could
after.
pay.
No, I believe me, your money probably wouldn't be very good here. Um,
Why do you say that?
we don't really
It's
use.
like a bartering town.
We don't really use coin here too often. I mean, we save a little bit for like traveling caravans that come by that want to trade goods if they have anything that we could use, but mostly amongst ourselves, it's a trade of like trading goods and services type of deal. I could have somebody else take you there. Well, I'm on patrol duty right now, unfortunately. But if you allow me to speak with the village elder, and maybe, you know, as a gesture of like goodwill, something trade worthy, then we could definitely find somebody to bring you to her.
I mean, I
Yeah,
don't see the problem. We can also offer our very fine services and adventuring at Miss Eleni.
I got another question. If you could pass it on to the elders, maybe, because I'm assuming this guy is kind of youngish.
Yeah, he's young. He's like probably in his mid-20s.
Okay. If you can ask the village elders, maybe if somebody in this town uh, had to give up a kid 15, 16 years ago, or if a couple died and their kid had to be rehomed or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Uh, of course, I can ask that. Why not? Why not you come with me? You can come with me to speak to the elder yourself. He knows a lot of the village history, and it would be faster if you were there and he was able to spare one of the patrolmen to go bring you to Frey. Come on.
Now look, it's probably just you trying to bite onto a word as a DM, but there was a little hesitation there, so I'm gonna have to ask for an insight check.
Okay,
Oh
that's
God.
fine. Um,
Just like did he recognize the story kind of thing? Because that's what I'm
he
pretty sure it was the one thing, but you know.
he seems like he doesn't seem like when Aoife asked about if anybody had to give up a child or any parents had passed, he doesn't seem to recognize that. But you do get the, oh, I don't know, that doesn't sound familiar to me, but I know who can help, and Elder
Okay.
probably could do it because he's like the
And
guy who's been here the longest.
And when it would have happened, this guy would have been like
Yeah.
8 to 10.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So.
the time you start to hear the real good family rumors, though.
Yeah, but usually the family rumor is related to you.
Yeah. Also, like, who knows how long Aoife was here? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I was given to the monastery as an infant still. So the whole born in this town, raised by Sharpfang, given to a druid, delivered to a monastery happened within 18 months.
Yeah, like there's a very real chance that this is a seaside town, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could have been people passing through, having a
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
he takes you to a larger longhouse than a larger structure, a longer longhouse than the others surrounding the area, and the guard stops in front of the simple wooden kind of slightly salt encrusted door, and says, "Just wait right here. I want to make sure he's awake first." So you see him go in. There is a little bit of dim light that comes out of the door when he opens it. The windows are, shutter. The curtains have been drawn. You wait for a couple 5 minutes, and then he comes back out and he says, Pliny can see you. Pliny can see you. He was just
Pliny the Elder.
Oh, if only Tilda was here. Pliny will see you now. He was just making some tea and his preparation for going to bed, but he can answer a few questions before, so come in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In.
Yeah. So you guys go in. This is a pretty sparse home. There are some woven mats that are on the floor. This place is only separated into 3 rooms: the front area, the middle area, and the back, where it looks like a few people have gathered for evening rituals. Mostly adults. There are a few men and women who are already that have put away earthenware that's been drying, and there is a very, very old human sitting in front of a small fire, who is just kind of pushing the embers out of a clay pot, and using a pair of tongs to take it off the fire as you come into the room. He looks up at you. He has a kind of gauzy veil over his eyes, and kind of just squints and kind of motions you to come by to sit by the fire. And there looks like there have been a couple other mats that have been placed out for you when he heard you guys guests were coming. A few of the people who have been in this area who are putting away things move on to the next room of the house to give you guys a little privacy. And come sit. My name is Pliny. Rom says that you are looking for Frey, but you also have questions.
Yeah. I'm gonna go sit.
Okay.
Awkwardly.
Yeah. He would any of you like any tea?
I
Thank
would
you,
love
but-
some.
Thank you for the offer.
Yes, please.
He passed these very very these gray stone these gray clay cups, and he pours some tea into each one. For those who take a sip of the tea is
We start tripping balls.
the tea
Everyone
is
but Aoife.
the tea has a slightly menthol smell to it, and when you take a sip of it, it is there is a slight bitter quality, but it's not this kind of bitterness that is sharp. It's kind of a lingering bitterness. There is also kind of a floral scent of some kind that is akin to a lavender, there might be some like kind of wild mint in here as well. And Polini says, so, one of you had inquired about an infant some odd years ago that may have been here, or parents of some sort.
Yeah. Just in full disclosure, because we don't mean you any harm, and I doubt you mean us harm. I'm like 99% sure that I was born here about 15, 16 years ago.
Okay.
And then I was cared for by someone named Sharpfang before Frey took me to where I grew up.
He closes his eyes. I remember vaguely, because this doesn't happen often, that Frey mentioned that she had found a human infant, a human girl in the woods. That around that time period. I don't remember anybody called Sharpfang, unfortunately. He's like kind of like leaning forward, taking a sip of his tea, trying to recall anything. I do recall one thing, something that happened around that time. There was a band of individuals that did stop by this village around that time. They only wanted to stop and rest in a safe place, and we allowed them to do so. There was a pregnant woman among them. So,
Or anything about them?
I don't know. We often have, not often, but it's not uncommon to have just a traveling tribe of individuals come and, ask to use our grounds for safety. There is the occasional groups of roving bandits in this area, and there are. He points to his own like he waves his own structure, and Rain, you see the type of reconstructive materials that was similar to the houses that you had seen out like closer to the edge of the of like the wilderness. From time to time, we do have giants that do attack the area. There might. I never heard from that group again after they had left. But they didn't return. So, if they were on some sort of. They had returned, not yearly, but every other year or so to rest in the village. But now I remember that we'd never seen them again. So. And he gets quiet.
Any names or descriptions of any of the persons, or specifically the pregnant woman? Or do you know anybody who might, like, did they stay at anybody's home?
No, it was a summer when they came last. And they a lot of them preferred to stay outside during that time. I do remember the name of their leader. Give me a moment. her the leader's name, her name was Senga. I remember speaking to her whenever she came by, just to get an update on how the hunting grounds they were going to and from were doing. I never caught the pregnant woman's name, unfortunately. Once in a while, they had new individuals that they accepted in their group. She was one of the newer ones.
See. That's very helpful, though. Thank you.
I'm sorry I don't have any more information.
Do you know a Sharp Fang?
I do not know a Sharp Fang.
We could make you one.
But as for Frey, I sent for Innes. He is his patrol's in a few hours, but he's already been awake for some time, and he had some extra energy, so he's willing to take you out to see Frey.
And to trade for the services, I'm going to reach into my pack and pull out 2 healing potions, just common healing potions.
Okay. He when you put them into his hand, he's like, "Thank you very much. These will provide very useful to our patrolmen." And he kind of like gives you like a respectful small bow when you give them to him.
I'll give the same like small bow. Your information's been very helpful too.
But yeah. But whenever you are ready to go see Frey, he will. I already sent for him, so he should be outside waiting for you.
Well, thank you very much for your time. Peely? Is it Peely? Is that what his name was?
Plenty.
Plenty.
Okay. Listen. I try my best, okay? Coda, where'd you go?
Have a good night. Safe travels. Yeah. And
Oh, what the fuck?
what?
I'm sorry. I opened my... Hold on. I'll take a picture. I don't know how you got up here. I'm putting laundry away and folding, and Coda's just hanging out on the top shelf of the closet. I legitimately have no idea how we jumped up there, because there's like not a lot of space.
Cat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is cat.
Like a comfy place.
Yeah, he's just perching.
I am cat. That's how I got here.
Yeah. I was just looking at the bottom, like, where did he go? This is totally unrelated, and I'm sorry for sidetracking
No,
us,
it's
but
fine. It's
one
fine.
morning when I went to work, I had to grab a jacket out of the closet, and I opened it pretty quickly. Then, I come home, blah, 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 blah. And usually when I come home, the first person at the door is Odin, because I think he recognizes, he's hungry, and he also recognizes, probably the sound of my car locking. But it was just Coda coming down the hall, and I'm like, where the fuck is your brother? And I was super concerned, like, oh my god, did he, get out when I was leaving? Like, what the fuck happened? So I'm checking around the apartment, trying to fucking find this cat, and I check all the usual spaces, and I'm like, did he get stuck in the closet? And he was just hanging out in there, and I felt so bad. He was in there for 8 hours. Poor baby.
Oh.
It happens sometimes, but I'm just happy he didn't piss and shit all over the closet.
Oh yeah.
But he was just sleeping. He woke up. He saw me. He's like, meow, and hopped out and started running to the back for like food time. I'm like, okay.
Poor baby.
Yeah. One of my mom's cats got stuck in the back basement for 8 hours at one point as well. we always make sure we open and shut that door very quickly because they like to go in there because they aren't usually allowed in there. So they're like, ooh, mystery door is open. Anyways, that's all.
I've been getting a lots of like WhatsApp like messages from people I don't know.
Oh, I've been
Mhm.
getting so many spam texts lately, I cannot tell you.
Oh yeah.
For example, the one I just got was, "Hey, why didn't you attend Eve's wedding today?" What?
Hmm.
That bitch knows what she did.
I'm like, you have the wrong number.
Yeah.
I do not know an Eve.
It's the Eve.
Yeah. Yeah, Adam, Eve, you know.
Yeah.
The heck? Oh.
Eve called. She wanted to know why we weren't there today.
Shut up!
Good job, Brandon.
All right. When you walk outside the hut, there is an older man with like a full on like this scruffy beard, and his head looks like it's shaved. Looks like his hairline was seriously receding, and he, as opposed to his fellow patrolman, is carrying a long spear, and he says, "Hi, friends. Hello, hey, strangers. You the group that Pliny wanted me to take out to see Frey?"
I'll nod.
All right.
Yeah, that's us.
All right, Inez, nice to meet you. This way, please. It's a couple miles out. I hope you're okay with the walk.
We're used to it.
Okay. Sometimes we get strangers that are not accompanied to walk in pretty like low brush and
This
rocky
is nothing
terrain.
compared to the.
Makes sense.
I'm just gonna say I doubt it's anything compared to the jungles of, was it the wild?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
No, it's like
as long as there aren't mosquitoes the size of my hand, I think we're okay.
Oh no mosquitoes out. No, no mosquitoes out here. Not many at all. Or like horseflies or anything of that nature. You all should be fine. So he starts guiding you through the woods. Roll survival checks, everybody, for me.
Oh boy. I'm waiting for my sheet to load.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a city rogue. What can I say?
It's true. Wait, no, scout.
Yep.
Aoife and Melanie, you're having a pretty good. You're having a pretty easy time keeping up with Inez. Rain and Zaitari are having an absolutely miserable time keeping up with Inez. For Rain, every once in a while there is like a little like low branch that gets like snagged in your armor. You have more like seed burrs than you can count by the end of it.
The only consolation is that Zaitari is worse off because misery loves company.
I know. Zaitari is even worse off. Whatever,
I'm
like...
just like constantly casting prestidigitation to try and mitigate like this bullshit. And of course, it's like right after I say this is not going to be anything compared to the wild.
Yeah, you're having a rough time. Things are getting snagged. Like there's like bits of like fluff from like air traveling seeds, kind of like milkweed seeds that are getting caught in your hair. Um and like for some reason like the like your sinuses are like really drying up for some reason. It's not a
Oh,
it's not
you
a
just
great.
had to have that in, huh?
It's not a great great trip. Um but eventually it takes you a little longer to get out there than you wanted. It takes maybe the good part just waiting for people to catch up like an hour and a half to get to your destination. Um and Naz doesn't look too bothered by it. Aoife, you're like probably the closest to him because you can keep up pretty well with him. You kind of get the notion that he's just like inside, like he's like silly city folk. um, but planted in what can only be described as a more like a lean-to that has kind of been inserted into a cliff, like a cliffside. The top of the, if you can call it a roof, covered in a thick layer of moss. This hovel would not be easy to find if you didn't have a guide, because from a distance it looks like just a mound that's covered in moss from a distance. You barely could spot the entrance way. But there is indeed a small hovel in a cliffside covered in moss and sticks and other debris. And then it says, here we are. Do you need me to guide you all to a proper road after this, or will you be okay?
Do those of us who didn't have a really rough time of it, feel like we could probably make it out of here? Like, how hard was it to get here for the rest of us?
I mean, it was a breeze for Aoife. For you, it was like, this is like going through like the rocky bit in the desert, but it's not as bad because it's not fucking hot. Rain and
nice.
Rain and Zaitari look a little worse for wear. Especially Zaitari.
Listen, the good thing
I
is
assumed it would just teleport out.
I don't think we can. Oh no, we can. Yeah, I have an 8th level spell. So I can teleport us out, or we can stay in the mansion for the evening and then leave. Up to, however we want to do it.
Thanks, Innes, but we'll be okay.
All right. Stay safe.
The 8th level spell slot's new. I forgot about it.
Stay safe. And I hope your trip back is an uneventful one. And he will start. He'll look at the stars and then make like a little like map in his head and start going back through the brush.
As he's leading, I'm just gonna look around, look at the group, note the haggard appearance of Zaitari and Rain, and then just take a deep breath and step closer to the hut. I'm not going to get too close just in case there's like warning systems.
Mm-hmm.
But a few steps closer, then I'm just going to call out, Frey, my name's Aoife. I don't know if you remember me, but you found me in the woods.
There is like a small rustle from inside, and you hear, just a moment. You hear the sound of a stick on what sounds like the stone ground. And emerging from the little hovel is a high elven woman. She has very short hair. It's kind of like it looks like it was shaved and now like there's like this like fine layer of like fuzz that is growing around her head. It looks like the fuzz is like of a like very blonde color. As opposed to other high elves, her skin is darker, a little more leathery. Looks like she's spent a lot of time outside, obviously. The most prominent thing you do notice about her, other than she's pretty much dressed in um, almost like rags. Parts of her clothing include like some burlap of some kind. She is missing her left arm, and is using just like her a very long, sturdy branch that's looked like it's been made into like a staff, to like help her get up from certain positions. Your name is Aoife now.
Yeah. Was it not my name when you found me?
I'm afraid I didn't know your name when I found you. You look well. She like just takes you in for a moment.
I'll take off my hat politely.
You were very small when I found you.
I'm still small.
She's like a couple good. She's about a foot taller than you. She's a pretty tall lady.
Yeah, it's not hard to be like substantially taller than Aoife. She's only 5'3".
I assume if you're out here, if you've come all this way to come out here, that you have questions.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where I come from. Learned about you and Sharpfang, and these are my friends and companions. They're helping me. They came with me.
You when you mention Sharpfang, she looks like immediately crestfallen. Oh dear. Well, I'm afraid you won't find Sharpfang anymore. She passed away a little while ago.
I see.
I'm sorry.
Sorry for your loss.
I'm sorry. She was a very good creature.
A creature?
Yes. She was a bear.
Can turn and just look at Aoife like, the fuck? You got a ghost bear following you around, girl. I don't say it, but you can hear it in my eyeballs.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the looks I think we're all exchanging is like, what?
I would like to look at Frey and just like say, was Shop Fang kind of, and then just fucking describe Bear Friend.
Their friend's getting a new name.
Yeah,
Bear
really.
Mom.
That she looks very confused when when she mentioned, oh yeah, she was a bear, and she's like looking at you like you didn't know, and then she begins to describe Bear Friend, and it sounds like Bear Friend.
Could Bear Friend talk? Or sorry, not Bear Friend. Could
Could
Sharpfang
Sharpfang
talk?
talk?
Oh, I mean, not normally. Sharpfang was her territory. My home is part of her territory, so I could speak with her with my magic abilities. I don't think she was able to speak to people normally.
So I was raised by a bear for a bit.
I found you in her den. I hadn't seen Sharpfang for a while, and I became very worried. So I searched for her at her den, and you were there. Now, obviously, you couldn't be raised by a bear. So I brought you to the only place I could think of that would take in an infant.
And when you say infant, are you talking like 6 months old, or was I like fresh out of the womb?
You were at least a week old.
Holy shit!
Were you nursing from the bear? How does that even fucking work?
No.
You were. I did have to help you. You were quite malnourished. She did her best to help you, but
And mush up
She's
some
a
good
bear.
berries and shove them in the toddler's mouth.
Literally
Or
raised
just
by
a
bears.
newborn.
Raised by a bear for like a week.
That explains so
It
much.
still counts.
I did my best to bring you back to health. But she even while you were here with me, she didn't leave your side. Until I had to explain to her that you had to be raised by your own kind.
When I went out here to find my parents and learn my history, I was not expecting this.
Why not, Aoife? Why weren't you expecting
To
this?
be raised by the bear that's now your friend who saved you from Shar.
Yeah, my god punching bear.
I'm sorry I don't have any more information for you. When I spoke to Sharpfang about, what what speech I could, she said she found you. It looked like there was a fight between humans. I assumed they ran into like bandits nearby. I searched for a while for any bodies, but I wasn't able to find them, even with Sharpfang's help. I'm sorry
Give
if that's
feel.
not. Yeah, I'm sorry if those aren't the answers you're looking for.
I mean, it's still information. Huh. Just like hands on my hips, looking at the group at like a little bit at a loss for words.
I think all of us feel pretty much the same about
Yeah, I don't
words.
think there's really much that like can be said about this particular situation.
Frey, did you ever meet any of the people that would travel through here? The village mentioned, people that would travel through, and maybe they were uh apparently there was a pregnant woman. It was a whole thing.
Oh,
Was it
Didn't
group
we
led
get
by Senga?
I knew Sangha. I didn't interact with her much. You must know I keep to myself here as much as I can, unless people actively seek me out. I know Sangha, but I was not familiar with the people in her group.
What can you tell us about Senga? Do you know where she's from or where she would head to?
I vaguely know the hunting route only because of Sharpfang. They would pass by Milan, follow the caribou herds to the north, dip into Dorenithil a little bit, and then make kind of like a circle, like a kind of an oval towards I believe you call that town Kizan, and then come back to Milan. They were nomadic hunting people, if I remember Senga correctly. I didn't speak to her too much.
Yeah, they probably got jumped by bandits or assholes from Dorenithil or something.
Yeah. I am truly sorry for not knowing much about your birth mother.
I mean, that's fine. If it was a long shot that you would know, but figure I'd ask.
I mean, I could
This-
I
oh,
could
sorry.
sorry, I can show you where I buried Sharpfang. Since you mentioned her specifically by name.
Yeah, actually, that'd be very nice.
All right. Just give me a moment. Let me grab my pack, and I will take you to her.
She leaves to go get her stuff. I turn to the group and I'm like, Bear Friend's real. Like, we have all physically interacted with Bear Friend, right?
Yes, we have.
Touched Bear. Shaddoc rode around on Bear Friend.
So Bear Friend's not a ghost.
But Bear Friend is a ghost. But also Bear Friend is not a ghost.
Maybe a magical reincarnate? I don't know. It's very confusing. I kind of wish Bear Friend was here right now.
That's a good question. That's a good point. Is Bear Friend near?
I don't know if we would have teleported the bear with us, but I mean that's up to you guys.
It's never stopped the bear before.
I mean, the bear.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, Bear Friend seemed to have disappeared when you guys had teleported.
I assume Shaddoc ran off with Bear Friend.
A few minutes later, you see that Frey has a pack, has a small small ring of some wild daisies, kind of like placed on one of the tiny like short branches that's still attached to her staff, and she says, "All right, let's go. It's not far. It's just about, if even a quarter of a mile from here. It's a very short walk." And she starts, walking towards the east of her home. As you hear the wild cats in the distance. The lynxes, they must be in a tizzy today.
Yeah, some cats must be in heat. Holy shit. That is a yelling cat.
Is there any questions you or anything you wanted to talk to her about before, as you guys are just taking the very short walk to where Sharpfang used to be?
This nomadic tribe, do you know if they wintered? Do you know if they
by wild lynx?
settled anywhere for a short time? Maybe one of them might have survived so that we can ask them some questions. I don't quite know, but
I don't know. I don't know that information. I mean, your best bet, if the elder in Milan doesn't know. Like I said, they went close to Kizan. That's the only other settlement I know they went close to. That's a much bigger settlement, though. I don't know, like a large town. I don't know if they would go to such a place like that.
Oh, we could certainly ask around at least.
Okay.
Well, Zaitari, you traveled through this area. Did you ever run into them?
I don't know, Dara, did I?
I mean, you probably encountered like various small, like tribal, nomad, like hunting nomads.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that like we've encountered caravans of people like all the time.
But yeah, you probably, I mean, most of the time, like, your quartermaster would deal with them if they wanted to look to trade something.
Yeah.
But it takes about like 10 minutes, going through the brush and everything to get to what looks like a small, well, small, but a large bear den. Kind of like in a wild links. Kind of in a hill. Looks like it goes in for quite a bit. Good place for something the size of like a large grizzly or Kodiak bear to make like a little like hibernation hovel. In front of the little hibernation hovel, though, there is um a mound of dirt, and there are like little trinkets that have been left, like flowers and like colored stones. And Frey will put the small daisy chain she has on her staff onto the mound, and she says, "Every once in a while, I come out here to say hello." As I'm making I collect herbs and mushrooms in the area. But she is here.
This whole time, Eva's gonna be very as inconspicuously as possible, just different.
Eventually, when you kind of like rest, like at the mound, there is like a cold, wet nose that like pokes your back.
Oh my god.
Hmm?
Gonna turn around.
Yeah, there's bear friend. Hi.
Hi. Hey, Frey.
Yeah. Yeah, and like when Frey turns around, she looks like she's seen the ghost. She's like,
I mean,
And she's
probably
looking at a
literally.
ghost.
she almost like, because she doesn't have her other arm, she like stumbles for a bit and like just plants the staff into the ground to regains her balance. And she like kind of like very slowly like approaches the bear, and she says, is this a joke?" Like kind of like,
This is Bear Friend. She punched a god for me.
you see she like squints, like and she's like caught, and Frey cocks her head to the side, and she makes like a circle around bear friend, like, and bear friend, just like kind of like happily puts her head on your shoulder, Aoife, kind of like, hello.
Oh yes, a bear friend can talk.
Yeah, Bear Friend can talk. I'm gonna give Bear Friend some scratches.
Her neck, does she have the scar?
I'll kind of move to the side and motion for Frey to check for herself.
Okay. She looks and she puts her hand there and sees like the old wounds around her neck, and she's like, I don't know how, because, well, and she kind of like looks at the dirt mound, but she did have these. I had found her. There were poachers that were kidnapping animals. I was furious. And they had an adolescent bear with them. They had already had some kind of piercing collar around her neck. I dealt with the poachers adequately. Unfortunately, they took, and she motions to where her arm was before I was able to completely finish them off. But that's where those came from. I'm not sure if I can explain this.
I don't think any of us can. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think any of us can, to be honest.
But
I didn't have a name for her, so I've just been calling her Bear Friend.
you see Frey just put her hand on Bear Friend's head and like gives her like, moves it and gives her a scratch. And you see Bear Friend give like Frey a lick on her cheek. Do you remember me? And you see Bear Friend just kind of like sit on the ground and like thoughtfully like gives her a thoughtful gaze and then says, Daisy. And like you hear like Frey like there was a hiccup in her throat.
Did she say Daisy?
Mm-hmm. And you hear Frey say, "It is you." And you see Frey like hug her and start crying into Bear Friend's shoulder. And like, after a few minutes, Bear Friend's just kind of like nuzzling her a bit, and like, Frey like shakes her head, wipes the tears with her sleeve and says, sorry about that.
There's no need to apologize. To be fair, this is a very emotional and surprising situation that we find ourselves in.
Yes, quite. I have no fucking clue. How? Why? But,
Yeah, we haven't been very successful at figuring out any of those things either. All I know is that Bear Friend literally manifested to keep a goddess from strangling me to death, and then traveled interdimensionally to help train me, and then also showed up in a dream to fight another god.
Wow, she's
And she's capable of speech.
she's definitely come a long way then. I swear she was a bear when she was here.
She, to be fair, she might have just been a bear.
What?
My guess, it's an avatar thing, like a vessel for some other thing. You know?
I suppose.
I feel like that's we don't really have a lot of good ideas at this point. So, I mean,
It's a complete guess because I don't know anything.
I might have a theory. Trying to work this around my head, but you know, your friend here. I remember when she died. She had passed in her sleep. Actually, that's how I found her. There are a number of spirits of nature that are tied to this place. Unfortunately, I don't have the capability. Well, I don't have the capabilities of speaking to them on a deep level. But there is one in particular that is associated with this place that could explain some things. Hold on.
Is this at all the area where, like, Mara's, like, relic staff is supposed to be or something? Is that her name?
Melora?
Melora. Thanks.
Um,
Because we were, like, briefly considering that, and then we changed gears.
No, Melora is associated with nature. I don't necessarily have anything to do with her.
I was just asking you, Darius, if this was the area where we talked to that person. Well, not like obviously not this area, but like around the area where we talked to that person about Melora's staff.
Yeah. This is like close. It's close to it. Valerian. Valerian is associated with this area. There was a old tale in my youth where we had stories of more like a demigod being that had lived here and tended to a herd of unicorns, but also passed away in this area. That's one of the reasons I came here in the first place. I wanted to see if the stories were real, but I was. And you see Frey chuckle to herself. I was young and foolish and looking for unicorns. But I eventually just stayed here because I prefer my I prefer solitude than being in any of the elven cities. But if you want,
Zaitari will just mutter to herself, I can understand why. Anyways, yeah.
but if you want to try to figure out what's going on here, maybe you should take a look into her lore.
As long as we don't bring any unicorns back to Shaddoc.
Oh, God.
20 unicorns
Our
later.
menagerie is big enough.
Another unicorn of sorts, I should say.
Yeah.
I think just Zaitari and Rain existing in the vicinity means that unicorns can't also exist in the vicinity.
Oh, how dare you! Wow. Anyways,
Anybody who wants to, you can roll a religion check.
can we have?
Can-
I'll
Tilda get on that too?
I'll have her do it. As this is loading. Character sheet.
Zaitari will also say, I mean, Aoife, you're exceptional at meditating. Maybe some communing with the forest might do something. I don't know.
I can try meditating here, but I wouldn't say I'm exceptional.
I mean,
Yes, you are.
you're leaps and bounds better than I'd ever be, so.
Okay. So what you know about Valerian? Valerian, Tilda will say, well, Valerian's known as the Dusk Unicorn, if I recall. Is a minor or demigod of forest and creatures, usually friendly with those like Melora. Typically, when he is portrayed, he's portrayed as a unicorn stallion with like a silvery gray coat. Most of Valerian's teachings teaches protection of the natural woodlands with the proper respect and reverence for good aligned magical creatures that dwell in them. Absolutely hates manticores, from what I remember.
Get rid of the testicle! Get rid of the testicle!
Oh, do I have a... No, they'd be happy to see that. That'd be a good gift.
Maybe.
That's a very dead and a manticore that is not reproducing.
Okay, that's actually a good point.
Yeah.
I don't know what this good, fantastical unicorn demigod has to do with me, a chaotic neutral anarchist.
Think any of us know for certain? That's kind of a really good question.
But that's what Tilda says when she spiels out things. And you heard of Valerian, Aoife, but you never done that much research. It's like, okay, unicorn thing. Cool. I guess.
Yeah, unicorn hero.
But yeah. Bear Friends was kind of like more friends.
If you want to put up the mansion here, Zaitari, I can do some meditating in the forest.
Oh, yes, of course, absolutely.
Because I also would
Cray?
assume that Zaitari would want to get inside.
Yes.
If you would like, you're more than welcome to join us in my magical mansion, which I will be conjuring here, if you give me 10 minutes. But I understand if you wish to return to your home, since it is not very far. However, you are welcome to come in if you wish. And Zaitari will spend like 10 minutes casting the Magnificent Mansion.
If it's okay, I would like to speak to your bear friend, for a little bit. It's been a while, as you can tell.
Yeah, I mean, go for it. I'm gonna find a nice little spot and sit and do some meditating, like Zaitari recommended.
Okay. Sure. Um, so you do meditate. You hear Frey, like, speaking to, bear friend normally, like, what happened? Or, and after, like, it's very clear that bear friend has no idea what happened. Then she goes into, oh, then how are you doing? Are you having, are you doing well in your new home? What have you seen? That kind of thing. Just, two friends catching up. Soon you manifest the mansion, and Aoife, will you be staying outside? How long are you meditating for?
Probably an hour.
Okay. You meditate for a while. After half an hour, Frey will give you some space. As you are meditating, you have you have kind of a, like, you basically have a vision.
Please don't say another. I was gonna say, please don't say another vision.
Well, not so much a vision as there's a voice, and the voice says, "Did you want to speak to me, Valerian?"
Well, if you can give me some answers, I'll take it.
You are wondering about your friend, Sharpfang, are you?
Yeah, bear friend.
Your friend sought, after your friend's mortal body had passed. She still lingered and sensed that you needed help. I granted her the ability to do so.
Cool. Thanks.
It's what she wanted. And she had been a very good creature for the time she was alive.
A total long shot. But do you know what happened to my mom before Sharpfang found me?
Your mother's hunting band was ambushed by bandits. During this time, your mother was able to hide you in some brush. And then afterwards, she was... And he kind of trails off.
Yeah.
I am sorry.
Thank you for Bear Friend. She has helped a lot.
You don't need to thank me. I sense you've already thanked her. She sensed that you needed her, so I merely granted the ability for her to do so. Everything she has done so far has been on of her own volition because she cares about you.
Well, I do appreciate it, and thank you for talking to me.
I feel like you deserve to at least have some answers.
It's more than I was expecting, so
Be well, Aoife.
you too. I'll kind of come down from the meditation and head into the mansion.
Okay. So yeah, for some reason, Bear Friend has been able to convince Faye to go into the mansion. Faye looks slightly like, kind of opulent for my taste. I'm gonna hang around my the bear for a bit.
Don't go down to the sex dungeon. You'll be fine.
Oh my god. Listen, that's only there if I wanted to be, okay? I would have also toned down the opulence at least a little bit. You know, made her probably like
Made her
a nice little
scented.
grove garden area that would be more, appropriate if she wanted to like chill out in the mansion with us. So
But yeah, Frey does see you come in. Bear Friend like stands up and kind of like wanders towards you. And Frey will say, "Well, it's been good catching up. I think I'm gonna go home now." You see Frey like scratch Bear Friend behind the ear and like give her a kiss on the head. You two take care of each other now, okay? And you see Bear Friend nod.
Thank you, Frey.
You're welcome. And thank you. Thank you for helping me reconnect with an old friend. And you see her leave the mansion.
I'm just gonna say real quietly to Bear Friend, if you want to go with her, if you want to go help her, you can.
You see Bear Friend like look at the door, and she shakes her head. No, she's okay. My place here. Okay.
Anybody with us who can regrow limbs, do we? That was when we had a full cleric, wasn't it?
I have a full cleric.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I was actually gonna offer Frey to do that because I can take regeneration.
Oh, really?
I could swap out a spell for it in the morning.
I mean, that'd be like a really cool thing we could do for her.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. If Frey even wants it.
I would assume she'd prefer to have the arm she was born with, but I mean, I won't put that on her.
Do you want to have like a super jacked arm? We can make it real skinny, real stumpy, you know.
They want some six cats on it.
Do you want one single bugbear arm?
Yeah. Do you want it to be like a horn, like a unicorn? You could just stab people with it. But yeah. Before she leaves, I'll say, what if I have one question, if you don't mind. Do you want your arm back? I know this is an odd question, but I can do that if you want. It needs to be tomorrow, but I can still do it.
She looks at you and says, I no thank you.
Are you sure? I could really make the arm something special if you wanted to.
Oh God.
No. Like the creatures of nature, I've adapted. It's been a very long time since I've had my other limb, and I think it would, at this point, it'd be a little weird to have it back. I'd prefer it this way now.
I guess it was 16 years. I kind of forgot that it was 16 years ago.
No, yeah, I mean it's been a long time, but sometimes you feel like, yeah, that'd be rad as fuck. Please give me my arm back.
Yeah, that's really what I thought. That's what I would have said. So it's
Actually, it
projecting
was
over here.
longer than 16 years ago, because you remember she found a bear friend when they were an adolescent.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And Bear Friend
It's been
found
at
Aoife
least-
when she was older, so it's been a while.
It's at least
Okay.
25 years.
If we gave that poor woman her arm back, she'd fall right over. She'd have no idea how to balance anymore.
But Frey says, "But thank you for your generosity." Yeah, she'll and then she'll leave with the whole like, "Do you want to go with her?" Bear friend's like, "No, my place is here."
When she's gone, Aoife's just gonna look at the group and give Bear Friend a hug, but say to the group, and thanks for coming along and doing this. I'm more confused than I was when I started. Don't know how you guys are doing.
Fairly confused, but I'm really glad that you found something out. It has to be nice to know more than you did before.
Yeah, my suspicions were correct. It looks like my mom was killed by bandits.
If you want to go on a bandit murder spree, we can do that.
I don't know if that would be the healthy way of coping with it.
We don't always use healthy coping mechanisms.
We don't. But I don't know if murder is the way to cope with it.
I mean, it's bandits.
It is, but there's still people.
I mean, and also chances are the bandits that did it are also already dead.
Oh, no. We murder all the old bandits. Like bandits who have, really been around for a while.
There probably aren't many.
That's a good point. Okay, fine.
That's kind of like a self-destructive line of work.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mostly just really feel like hitting something. It's got an itch.
Well, if you go down to the basement, there's a big sand pit with some dummies if you want to go beat on that.
When we get to the monastery, you're welcome to punch the masters, because they deserve it.
Aoife, do you want to spar some of this angst out?
Only if you take off that fucking belt, because I don't have anything like that to bring me up to that same level.
Okay, no magic items for either of us. Just punching. You are going
Sure.
to beat my ass. Maybe no. If we're going just punching, can you just use your left hand?
Your
Which left hand?
your left hand.
You don't get to use your special arms. If I don't get a belt, you don't get special arms.
Why? I don't wear my special arms.
No, hey, can I get a ruling on
My
this?
special arms they're my power and ability. They're not an accessory I put on to compensate.
Oh.
Okay, let's go down to the sand ring right now.
Maybe I'll just lean over to Rain and say, maybe I shouldn't have put the sparring pit down here tonight. I just kind of figured that Aoife would want to blow off steam.
Well, there's only one thing we can do. You have snacks, right?
Of course I do. I do, and, 3 different servants just kind of appear out of thin air, with trays of, wine and, fruits and cheeses and various kinds of snacks. Whatever you want, just say it and I'll bring it. I take a carafe of wine and just start drinking it.
There needs to be a dexterity equivalent to these giant strength belts.
Zaitari, when you say that, you see Bear Friend looks at you and says, "Honey."
Oh no.
Oh, a servant appears, of an appropriate height to be at like head level to Bear Friend, and on a platter there is a big bowl of honey.
Um, immediately like sticks face in honey.
Bear friend's not gonna be able to fit through the door.
Bear friend is well fed.
And like we'll follow you guys down to the sand pits and and like every once in a while like we'll look like kind of like boring at the little sparring match and like snagging an apple off a tray, trying to be encouraging, like does mimics like the clapping she saw back at the arena.
Aw.
Trying, doesn't quite get the sound that she wants, like, because like the pads like
Just
are,
big and meaty.
yeah, the pads are
Yeah,
like
More like
cushiony,
a thwomp thwomp
so they're
sound.
like
It sounded like a pillow fight.
pretty much.
Some clicks when the claws hit.
But yeah, you guys go at it for a bit. While
Okay,
the
but
rest.
hold on. As Aoife pops out her arms,
Mm-hmm.
okay, because Aoife's like, my arms are Rain
I don't
is
have
then
to
going
attune
to
to 'em.
activate her fucking giant might and turn large, and then she's going to activate her hill rune, which makes her take half damage from bludgeoning, and then we're just gonna beat the fuck out of each other.
The harder they hit, I hit more times.
I know, but I'm gonna take half damage from your hits, and I'm gonna be big, so I'm trying here.
It's
Oh,
all gonna come down to whether or not you get stunned.
Oh
Mhm.
no, you can use Stunning Strike, you don't wear it!
You got 2 action surges.
Oh yeah, I'll just try to pummel her.
Yeah,
Like,
so
one round.
you guys are like going back and forth, and it's a pretty even match. Yeah, Bear Friend, like at some point Bear Friend like gives up on the clapping and just starts snagging more like fruits and veggies off of trays. Kind of like just looking at the fight and then like listening on the conversation that Rain and Zaitari are having. Yeah, just like, well, I
And
don't.
this fight's gonna take forever.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
like, I don't exactly understand what's happening, but I'm happy to be here.
I have a very lab energy, huh?
So I had a horrible thought, and I'm gonna look down to Bear Friend and say, I suppose it's Sharp Fang now, isn't it? Is that what you would prefer?
You see, Bear Friend like shrugs. It's like, that okay? Bear Friend okay? Everything okay?
I'll give
So sweet.
Bear Friend a pat on the head and say, as like I'm kind of scritching her ears, have you ever had mead before?
Bear Friend's
It's
like,
honey but special.
Bear Friend looks very intrigued.
Okay, I'm going to snap my fingers, and a servant will hand me a appropriately wide bowl, so that Bear Friend may lap it up,
Mhm.
of mead, and I will place it on the ground.
Okay.
I assume to watch this, we have like Roman style couches that we can lean on, right, Zaitari?
Oh yeah, I like the servants have brought down anything that we need from upstairs.
Don't forget, Friend does enjoy a good bubble bath too.
Yeah, Bear Friend like laps it up, And it takes a couple of bowls until you see the effects of the mead. She's kind of like, she sways a little. She looks like she's getting kind of sleepy too. Seems like she's a sleepy drunk.
Oh, I feel it.
But yeah, she looks like she's enjoying herself. Like, yay. Yeah, but she eats a ton. Doesn't seem to gain too much weight though. Probably being a magic bear. But the
Corporeal
fight
ghost
probably
bear.
the fight goes on for
It's like 5 straight minutes.
yeah, about 5 minutes. At this
I'm
point,
assuming at the end it's just a sad slap fight. We're just like, ah.
Bear Friend has like dozed off trying to keep up with the movements between you two. And you see your friends on the Roman style couches, like just snacking, watching you guys drinking.
Oh, you can't sentinel a sentinel, right?
Nope.
Nope.
Well,
Can you?
we wouldn't be able to sentinel each other unless we moved out of the area. Because you can't sentinel on attacks to yourself. So, unless one of us is trying to, like,
Run away.
move, it's not really gonna matter.
Figure 2, partway through this fight, it actually ends up being more of Melanie and Aoife trying to figure out ways to, like, combo attacks and stuff.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Once we're kind of, like, beat to hell and tired, Mel will just kind of make like a okay, timeout motion and just kind of give Aoife a slap on the back and say, sorry you didn't get the best news, but I'm glad you found something. And then she's just gonna collapse in the sand.
Gonna grab you with all my astral arms and start dragging you out of the sandpit.
I'll kind of
The sand was
drunkenly,
comfortable.
I'll kind of drunkenly clap, and a servant will appear with some carafes filled with water.
When you're big, if you throw me, I bet we can stack your strength onto my attacks.
DM.
Yes.
What is the roll for a monk missile? Is it?
Eventually, in all D&D games, someone proposes the fastball special.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
about to.
yeah,
Are you
of
course.
fastballing special the monk now? Are we? Is this
Get
something
a
we
good,
do?
get a good spin on me with all my arms out.
Oh my god.
Didn't I fastball special your halfling, Lynn, at some point in KK's game?
I don't.
Or did you just like to be on my shoulders because you were tall?
I think that I would just climbed all over you for fun.
Okay. Now, I could see it, like, had that game continued, that definitely would have happened eventually.
Oh yeah, no, well, she was a cleric, so I don't know how often you
Yeah,
really
but
need
you
to
were
fastball
you were
cleric.
you were a Twilight cleric, so you could
That's
like
true.
levitate and shit, and
That's
you
a
know
good
you wanted
like,
to be up
turn
in melee
undead
anyways. So
bomb.
yeah.
Oh, just throw somebody in the turn undead. Yeah, that could work.
Yeah.
Oh, also like like if you had whatever those like spirits around you too,
Oh, yeah.
throw you into a group of enemies. Exactly. Yeah. There's a lot of ways that could have worked.
So I'm picturing large Melanie. Aoife's got all of her arms out. She's got a cool sword in each of her real hands, but all of her spectral arms are out ready to punch. And then you get a good spiral like a football. Like, that's gotta do something.
Oh, definitely gonna do some damage.
Mm-hmm.
Another option that I did think about that we haven't had a chance to play around with is I'm pretty good at grappling people now. I could grapple someone. You could fling me straight up in the air, and I can just slow fall down while they do not slow fall down.
Good point.
I don't know if it'd be a far enough throw to really be useful though.
It would be if you do your Thunderbird leap with it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Damn, yeah,
Yeah.
that could
You're
fuck
gonna be
somebody up.
wanting to write this stuff down, DM.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, you may not have yeeted anybody yet, but you've yeeted yourself with people quite frequently. So.
Yeah, that's true. But I've never yeeted a non-willing person with me.
I'd be willing. I'd be holding on to the non-willing person.
Technicalities. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It's really easy to grapple when you've got like 8 arms.
It does help.
Okay, so you sleep off beating each after beating each other up, and I guess most of the people will sleep off their drunkenness, especially Bear Friend at this point.
Especially Bear Friend.
Yeah.
You know, this is her first introduction to Mead. So.
Yep.
Hopefully, Bear Friend is not a mean. She said sleepy drunk, right?
Sleepy
So,
drunk, exactly. She's already calmed. But yeah. And then you guys are teleporting back home in the morning?
I mean, I don't think there's anything else here that we need to do.
There's not really anything. Because we traded with the Elder already to pay him. Probably just say thanks to Frey one more time.
Okay. Sounds good. So you're all rested up in the morning. You travel to Freya's home. She's surprised you're there because she thought you guys would be gone by now, but she says, "Well, you're welcome for and like I said last night, thank you for letting me catch up with a friend of mine. It's much appreciated."
Yeah, thank you.
And if you're ever in the area again, you're more than welcome to stop by whenever.
Oh, could you actually give us something? I mean, I could probably take something from the forest itself, but a little bit more substantial that won't rot.
Oh,
It could serve as an anchor for a teleportation spell.
of course. She digs in one of her many pockets and pulls out a shiny smooth piece of mother of pearl. Here.
Oh, wonderful! Thank you so much.
You're welcome. She pats Bear Friend on the head. Now you be a good girl, Sharp Fang. Okay? And you see Sharp Fang / Bear Friend like nod. Yep. Take care of each other. And yeah, you guys teleport back to Rosewater Keep. Where Shaddoc, somehow sensing that you have teleported back, flies back to like literally leaps back into her mom's. This time again, Rain, I need you to roll a strength saving throw. You are speared into the ground again.
We're gonna have to have a talk about that.
Speared so hard you lose 2 levels.
You are on the ground. She's like hugging you. After a successful tackle hug, she'll move on to Melanie.
I will give her many hugs.
You guys have literally only been gone for a day.
Yep.
And that went a lot faster than I thought it might.
Yep. You know, these things tend to, once we like get them into motion, yeah, they kind of just click into place.
So I think this is a good time to end it. I forgot if somebody had. Oh, it was Ro who might have something on the